Should work. Alright, we're ready. I think. Da-da-dum. But yeah, today I'm just going to build a mess hall because you know you need a hearty stew to warm up those cold bones after working or farming ice. And I literally found a reference almost 10 minutes before I started the stream, so this is going to be interesting. The only thing is I have to find it again because I found it on my phone and I have to... It's not easy to replicate or use a reference when it's tiny on like the screen of a phone. So give me a second while I look it up because I had it and lost it. I've gone too far here, I think. Where are you? Oh. Found it. But yeah, this is going to be interesting to build. So it's going to be around here. Hey Beatrice. So I'm just going to lay it out first. It's probably 3 that way and 2 that way. Then 2. I'm here, school has started, so I'm dying. School. So, that should be the lowest part of it. And then as we go higher, we can make it something different. And I deleted it because I now know what shape I want. Yep. I was for a second worried that I forgot to turn my mic back on. That's a worry all the time though. Because I easily forget things. What are you doing today? Well, we're going to build a cafeteria or mess hall because you know you need a warm stew or just a very hearty meal after working in the ice mines. But Planet Zoo wise, we're basically building a restaurant. Where? There. I'll just do that. And the first bits are basically the standard for my builds now. Building these rock walls. Because I love building these. Like they look a lot more natural, I would say, than the actual walls that we have. Or at least they're just really textured. So I like making them. But how are you doing today, Beatrice? Also, be aware, a sneaky croc might sneak his way into the stream and demand cookies. So a close eye on your cookies. Doing that. But then that's a long name. Hey Chase. Chase, Murray, Weikert, Shriver, Kitzmiller, Dolan. Probably half of that was incorrect. And then one of those again. Rotate it a bit. And then you can actually basically use everything on the down side of it. Just turn it around. Pinterest. That's might work. I'm going to no. I'm going to take one of these. Then just again that's one, and turn it around so that you never have the same wall next to each other. Although I need to then keep that separate. One of those, two of those, pick up this one, slide it, slide it. Turning things around is just a very easy way to make things look slightly different, even though you don't have to do much work. And then getting these ones in just to hide the edges. Two of those. I now also realized, if I want to put actual shops in here, it's going to be difficult. But then, I don't think I will ever open my zoos to actual, like, Planet Zoo guests, so it's not necessary for me. Alright, so we have that. That's not the right piece. Why is it always... I always put it either on 4 or on 0. Or at least the game puts it on 0 and then it's painful. I love the music. It's the soundtrack of The Witcher. Or the third Witcher. And it is a beautiful soundtrack. Again, like I will keep saying this, but I love that I can use the soundtrack of The Witcher because, again, these streams are never monetized. Also, not just because I want to use The Witcher music, but also because it's... nothing against people who monetize their streams, but I hate it when I watch streams when I'm building off camera, and I slightly hate it when I have to watch an ad before a stream. I do have to turn the music a bit down though, because I can't hear myself think. And that's a problem. No, wait. I want to... This extended. But does it take away from the length of the building? I mean, this roof has... This stream is just going to be a lot of... Again, it doesn't help that I literally found what I was looking for just like 10 minutes before the stream started. Yes, it doesn't glitch out. Like, there's some pieces that you can put over each other and they won't do that. Although there are more pieces that will glitch out. I mean, there it does do it. So I need to replace that. So I don't have much idea on what exactly I'm doing. I just know that I want to do that. Using this one as a roof piece again. Because it's just really easy to make a roof with this one. Although I want this heavily hanging over. It's a little bit too... Hey, mutant! So... So... One second to look if it's... Nope, it needs another panel. And then that should work. Yep. Just going to see. I think that works better than having it really like that weird overhang. Which also means that this is to go back one. Which I think means that this doesn't have to do that and that. So. But how are you doing today, mutant? Are the polar bears already in? Not yet. Because I still have to make sure that they can't escape. It's not good to have polar bears running around your zoo. Or at least not to my knowledge. That it's not a good idea to do that. Now I need to figure out a roof for the top bit though, which I want to make a lot more higher. So I'm just building the testing phase thing. And do that. Because this is going to be a mess hall, or at least zoo-wise, it's a restaurant. So it's probably like company owned, because there's probably like a mining company that is operating the ice farm. So they would make this look a little bit good. Because it's like public image and such. I mean, we do that even nowadays. Like the big like companies, they have these massive, usually very detailed, or very detailed, basically just really grand like company headquarters, which is in a way still like public image thing of like showing how good your company is by the office that it can have. And I think the roof overhangs 1 meter. Don't want to do that. So what I probably am going to do, well, first clean that up. Is put stalls on the inside, but don't actually put like a shop front in, just so that it actually looks like a sort of restaurant style thing. Because most restaurants don't, you know, they don't have something like that, where it's basically a sort of counter thing. Or at least they do have those, but you're not really supposed to go to them, I think. At least if it's not like a self-service kind of thing. That works. Now it's just trying to make everything else work. Usually I end up with the roof, now I'm starting with the roof. Because it's like a third of the building. Why is my game so laggy now? Then turn this around. I want that to extend a little bit further than what it actually does. So oh, that's why. Don't say that this is also... Well, at least I spotted it before I started copying that. Because that would have been awkward to leave a mistake like that in. Not that I haven't done that before. Again, Planet Zoo, 80% of the game or 80% of building is just hiding mistakes. Or just things that you couldn't get to work. And I am fully open about, like, there are definitely like things in Valhalla and Candle Shower where it's like, I don't know how to make it work, so I just hide it with foliage or plants, or just build something impressive so that you guys don't really notice it. I have definitely done that, and I don't feel guilty about it. That's not correct. Once it starts blending in with that. And then hiding it. One further and down. Make this behind the other, because the other one is aligned, this one not so much. And then beam. I don't know why I hold the S so long on that word. These are basically just there. It's really hot where I'm at. I'm melting. Well, step out of the sauna. Beatrice, I thought I told you it's not good to watch streams while you're at a sauna. Like, I know you might like the sauna, but the sauna doesn't like you. Like, wrap a towel around yourself and get out of the sauna and maybe take an ice bath. That. I think I now have every piece that I needed to take from this place. And bring it over to that place, except this. I forgot that. Yeah, so am I the only person who does this? But while I'm, how do I say this? Whenever I start gaming, basically, I sit in what I think is like a good position. Like, I'm not slouching or anything. It's just that while I'm gaming, I slowly just I don't really slouch, I just sort of slide down my chair. And before anyone asks, no, it's not because I'm sweaty or something like that. I literally just start sliding. I have no idea why. Taking those beams because such an extension needs to be supported. It doesn't look anywhere like the reference anymore, which... Okay, that sometimes happens. I have a reference and then I start building and it slowly drifts away from the reference. Which I think is a good thing in a way, because then you build your complete own building after a while. So moving the mic. You don't really pay attention to what you're doing when this happens. I just start sliding. And then as soon as I do realize, I immediately like readjust, make sure that I'm sitting correctly again. But it's just that realization that I'm like, what's happening? Why am I sliding? I'm not... Like, it's not hot in my room right now. I'm just... slidey. I'm a slidey squirrel. Now I just mentally see a squirrel going down a slide. I mean, it's better than the mental image I had previously. Or on the previous stream, which was a lovable, chaotic nightmare. So... Excuse me. So. Like, I'm saying excuse me, but I don't know if you guys actually hear like the small burp. It's just like for if you might have heard it, then it's there, but if you didn't hear it, then now you know that I just burped. You know, here at Poisonblade we are honest. And I'll have a little bit of a cold going on. Or at least, I wouldn't say I have a full-on cold, I'm just snivelly, I think is... Like, my nose is not runny, but I still... It feels runny, if that's the best way I think I can describe it. Like, it feels runny. Alright, now to make it messy. I've not too much of a clue. I don't want to use anything that's carved. Cookies! Hey Lena. You're safe. Croc hasn't showed up yet, so your cookies are still safe. But for how long? I'm really sniffly. I don't think sniffly though is a word. Can we make it a word though? Want to trade poison? I don't have any stroopwafels. I literally ate the last one before stream. I am all out of stroopwafels. So because you knew I'd ask, right? Well, in the last one, the last stroopwafel that I still had, it's like I always try to find the perfect stroopwafel and then leave it for last. So I ate the perfect stroopwafel, which means it was crunchy but also gooey, like really gooey on the inside. Because, of course, I'm going to leave the best stroopwafel for last. Putting those windows there. I want to make a small extension here. This is supposed to be like a mess hall, but I think it's larger now than the actual the wooden mug, which is the tavern that's inside the actual city. I'm just going to copy this roof because I've already made it, so there's no shame in using something you made already. Yeah, it's just being smart. I might not want to use that though. Like the cherry on top of the cake. I usually eat those first, because I'd be worried someone else eats it. Yeah, but luckily I am the only one who really likes cookies in this house, so, or at least goes out of their way to eat them. So I can wait. And not have the fear of somebody eating it before I get the chance to. Then do that. And I knocked into my mic. Also, I wanted to wait with this until the video came out, but I have a beard, or something that can be somewhat counted as a... It can somewhat be counted as a beard, so let me have that. I don't have to have beard envy of Drew anymore. We used to fight for the best fruits. Now I just see you like going into the ring, just fighting for a cookie. Like full on gladiatorial combat over a chocolate chip cookie. Stoppelbart? And no, it's beyond that point. But I think the how do you call it? I think the beard that I have right now you would call a chin strap beard, but that's mostly because screw my genetics. Like the mustache area and the actual beard area don't connect, so it's fuck you genetics basically. But it's far better than anything I've had before, so now I don't have to have beard envy. I'm still going to tease Drew about his lack of a perfect dwarf beard, but at least now I can say that I have somewhat of a beard myself, so he can't recount with that. Can make it a funky beard lol. Yeah, I'm still really just like the moment I realized, oh, I actually have what some people would call a beard, and then just the pure joy when I like for a long time I was just like, I don't like, I'm not going outside, so why should I shave? And after a while it was just like, I can grow a beard that doesn't look like I glued pubes to my face. I finally went through puberty. Well, no, that's debatable. I still will go to the grave saying that puberty is the worst time for anyone to be alive though. Like, if you like yourself during puberty, go stand in the corner now and sulk because you're lying, and I don't agree with lying on this channel. Like, in general, puberty sucks. Although guys have it way easier, I would say, than women, because we don't have to deal with periods. Humanity would be extinct if guys had to go through that. When you feel like you're finally an adult, it feels like a midlife crisis looking at you in the corner and say, come here quickly. Yeah, because you have to be responsible and all of that. And you have to have certain, like, you know, you have to have achieved some things, and then you're just like, I just want to play video games and not have a voice break every 5 seconds, thank you. Or voice crack. I'm still like, first of all, I was a jerk when yeah, I was kind of a jerk when I was going through puberty. But also, I'm so glad that my like voice cracky voice isn't on the internet. Like, I'm so happy that I at least had the common sense of like, alright, let's not make a channel while my voice doesn't know what the fuck to do. Beard sucks. I wish I could just say stop producing stupid hormones, buddy. I don't want kids. Yeah. Like Justin Bieber. I am very proud in a way to say that I have never truly listened to Justin Bieber. Like, alright, that's maybe a bit of a stretch because especially his earlier songs, they just got blasted to death on the radio. So I definitely heard them. It's just I have mentally wiped them from my brain, which I think is a good thing. This needed to become a mess hall, and I've no idea what I'm doing. I'm just thinking, this looks good, let's add this looks good. Like, sometimes you have a very clear idea and you know like how to do it from A to B. Other times you're just like, I have no idea. It looks good. That's all I can ask for. Lena, how can I block someone? I can put you in a timeout. I have no idea. I clicked something. Oh god. For 300 seconds. Well, Lena, I thought I could decide like, oh, 5 seconds, but YouTube automatically basically puts you in a timeout for 300. Thank you, YouTube, for not... sorry, Lena. Like, I really thought like, oh, yeah, YouTube is going to give me like, because some things aren't that bad. And sometimes it's kind of a jokey, so they would like give you like, oh, you want to give this person a timeout for like 5 seconds or something? No, 300, face it. Wow, but let this be a lesson. Don't quote Justin Bieber. The bad thing, it deleted literally every message. Sorry, Lena. I hit the button and the button didn't like me. And also, I say in my time as if I'm 1,000 years old. Well, aren't you? We all know you're some time-traveling space wizard, Beatrice. You don't have to be afraid, this is a safe space. You can come out as a time-traveling space wizard. The FBI or the CSA, I only literally know the FBI. There's another group, but I forgot their name. But they might want to find you and do some experiments on you because time travel. But in general, this is a safe space. You'd never know. Well, you would then literally go back and turn time around just so that I don't find out. But hey, you don't know if I'm a time-traveling squirrel. Huh? But hey, at least we gave Lena the time to grab more cookies before Croc showed up. You know, I'm considerate. And a doofus. You know what this building needs? Dormers. But I'm not going to build them right now. But also, as a question, if you would be some kind of immortal, from which era would you be? The first thing that popped into my head was Babylonian or Persian. Because they seem like pretty chill people. Let's grab some of these beams. Like ancient Greeks, while their achievements were great, they were also assholes for anyone that wasn't, you know, basically, if you're a woman, you were screwed in ancient Greece because you were kind of seen as an object. Well, kind of, you were seen as an object. I think they would see you as like a deformed man, which... no. So if I hear any of you guys say like, oh, ancient Greece is such a perfect time to be alive. No, it's not. I think I'm not actually sure about Babylon, but I think Persia was like pretty, you know, normal about everything. I'd be pre-colonial Brazil because I like studying that time period. Sorry, there's something in my eye. Ow. Stupid hair. Yeah, a lot of civilizations before colonization are very interesting to go to. And then you have the onslaught of colonialism. Not that it... well, in some places it did somewhat, or close to completely wipe away the original culture, or at least tried to. I don't have any clue why I want this here, I just want it. So, and part of my family was from native growth. That's cool. You guys definitely heard that burp, which, yeah. I didn't eat right before the stream, but seemingly whenever I start streaming, my stomach is just like, let's make him burp 500 times. The people watching him will maybe be disgusted, but we don't care. That's not to say that I don't care, because I mean, I'm literally almost burping into a mic. That's not... no. And then pudding. Lena, are you still on the timeout? Or did I chase you away with the timeouts? I hope not. Well, let it be a lesson to never again try and put Justin Bieber lyrics in the chat. Because I'm a doofus and I will accidentally put you in a timeout for almost 5 minutes. I'm innocent. Are you, Dolina? Are you truly innocent? I know, it was an actual timeout. Yes. It was for 300 seconds. Because YouTube doesn't allow you to actually specify how long you want it to be. So while I wanted to time out Lena for like 5 seconds as a joke, it's actually just put Lena in a timeout for the full 300 seconds. I wasn't joking. I cried about it in another post of Poison. Did you put something on the community tab? Yep. I found them. I think the music has stopped. Yeah. Let's do the...
Hey,
damn it. I don't want a commercial. Alright, this one has no music. Well, now it will be immortalized forever. Hyenas are usually in these holes. Stupid people getting me into trouble. I mean... yes. Just yes. Oh, that's what I clicked away, the Pinteresting. Not really that I needed it anymore, because I wasn't really basing it off of anything anymore. I mean, if Lena was listening while she was on a timeout, she knows which era not to say. So let's all wait Lena's response. If she answers wrong, then it's another... then it's another 300 seconds. Now I'm all drunk on power. But this is why you shouldn't give me any power. Lena's now in fear of being a mullet. To be honest, every era women were either enslaved or being treated shitty. Yes. Like, for a lot of people, you don't want to go back in history. I mean, in history, I would be seen as an oddity. Or curiosity, I think is the better word. Because people wouldn't outright hate me, but I would probably, just because of... yeah, no, my ancestry, I think, were just... parentage. I would be like, I would be watched with some distrust. Although I think nowadays it still would be, in some places would get that. Cause that's the thing, like, today isn't good, but it's still by miles better than how it used to be. There were some African tribes though where the women hold power. They even hand over their heritage to the women in line and not the men. How do you call that? A matriarchy or a matriarchal society. But on contrast, because of genetics, if we were to travel back in time, we would be way prettier than our ancestors. We would be way prettier than any Habsburg prince. And that's the weird thing. The Habsburgs knew inbreeding was bad. They still did it, but that's like the weirdness that you come across when it's like when there's titles and wealth and such at play. But the question is, would they see the way we see as pretty the same? I mean, no. Because back then, like right now, when we think of pretty, we think of like the well, the models, actresses, and actors on the red carpet. Back then, they wouldn't see those as pretty. That's why you. This is going to sound really like, I don't know. It feels like one of those posts that, you know, like happy thoughts and all of that, but you should never worry too much about fashion because it has changed so much. We don't have a wig and liters of perfume on or something. I mean, that's kind of a misconception because people did bait back then. Like, it was seen as bad if you were smelly, but then, yeah, baiting wasn't as frequent if you were, let's say, I don't know, some lower class citizen. Because there were bathhouses and everything. It's just, they could be expensive. That doesn't look right. I deleted something. I mean, I will always go on and on about the misconception that corsets were torture devices. When, yes, if you are very fashion forward, they could be torture devices. But if you were just your average, I don't know, working class Betty, I don't know why I immediately thought of the name Betty, but we'll go with that one. You wouldn't go for like the fully restrictive, can't breathe fainting thing. Only if you were like really upper class did you do that. But then sadly, the upper class is the ones that wrote things down, that appeared in all the music or in the fashion things. Yes, in Crete, I think, before the Homeric period. I'm learning this in history right now. The Minoans? That's the only civilization on Crete that I know of. That's like not Mycenaean or classical Greek or Hellenistic Greece. I love history. It's mostly also because, well, the best way to not repeat history is to know history. I listened to a true crime story about a woman in the about a woman in the times of Jack the Ripper that sold poison in makeup vials so women could kill their abusive husband. I mean, yes. That was one of the ways to get out of a marriage because women held very little standing back then. Yeah, history is usually written down so it's often a one-side story, and who could write then the rich or scholars, not the poor. Yes, and like the poor, or not just the poor but like middle class, like they were too busy working to write things down. The rich were just sitting around enjoying tea parties, so they could take all of the time in the world to write things down. But that's why, like, what's the channel? English History, or I think that's the name of the channel. Basically, there's this series on YouTube by I think it's called English History or English Heritage, I think, who has this series going on about a Victorian era, I think, cook and her experiences and just basically how she lived, which I really love. I love seeing the history, not of like kings, queens, and all of the, you know, well-known figures. I love the ones that are in the background, like the servants, the cooks, the maids, and all of that. Because then you get a insight into everyday life, instead of just like, oh, this is what the wealthy did and only the wealthy did. It definitely needs dormers. But yeah, it's basically a cooking show or a cooking series, so it's these cooking recipes, but there's just some like snippets of like how do you call it? Like sometimes he has like rumors that are from that time period and such. Oh, cool. What was the name again? I think it's English Heritage, but you can also look for Mrs. Crocon. And cooks and servers got the juice all. Must have some great stories about those richies. Yes. The only thing is they got paid to not talk. Or put in a timeout when they did. Are you requesting another timeout, Lena? The gossip would be awesome though. Well, that's what I love when it comes to that series. There is like a tiny bit of that gossip. I am drunk on power. So I'm kind of out of ideas for right now, so I might be ending the stream right now, because all we have to do is add dormers, like a lot of dormers, just to break up the roof, because this is a little bit too much of one thing. This is probably a storage area, so there don't need to be that many windows there. I'm just... This is something I do actually also basically throughout the day. I'm just like looking at buildings. I'm like, oh, I need to add something like there, and I talk out loud, just so that my brain just really saves it. I don't know. I don't think I need to do too much about this side because... I'm just going to quickly... So tomorrow there is a video coming up. It's the last part of the trilogy of Suyana. I'm just going to look if it's like still like the right size. Yes. And then you can like eat here and look over the ice mine. And it's like close by the entrance, so it makes sense that the mess hall is here. Almost feels you're in that area too. I love this. Will get a little bit too immersive. I love it when it gets too immersive and they really just go and fully go into that role. I mean, I do kind of the same with, well, not kind of the same, like I'm not acting out, but I really like going into like making stories and such, and really like going deeply into those. And I love seeing that in other things as well. And it's like, it's a fun way to make history accessible, because history books are the most boring things usually. First of all, they are usually about like kings, wars, and all of that, and the common everyday folk gets left out of history. I need to stop the recording because I'm not going to build anymore. Let's just... My game crashed. It's the first time it did that ever. Oh, please, I didn't save. And it's taking a really long while to start. Let's all pray that not everything was lost. Because then I'm going to end the stream, because then I'm going to sulk into a corner. It's usually an autosave. There is an autosave. Let's see how far back we are. It's literally never crashes on me, except at startup, but then that's fine because it's like 5 seconds and then start up again. It has almost never crashed when I am actually building. I am scared. So let's see what happens. It really feels now like that lemur is just walking in slow motion. And I don't like it. I need to have like a stress ball right now. Where's Croc? Come on. Yeah, that's why he's not typing in chat. I have him here as a stress ball. Just squeeze, squeeze. I'm of course joking. Oh, it's a bear now. It's no longer a lemur. That doesn't feel right. I didn't think the animals would actually change while on the loading screen. We didn't lose much, I think. I think we lost... No, we didn't lose anything. The only thing that we lost is that I removed those pillars. Thank you, Planet Suit. Thank you. Alright, now fucking save. Oh, my poor heart. My poor heart didn't want that. Alright, and let's save the backup too. That just hurts. I was legit going to quit if everything was gone. But it seems I literally only lost that I removed those pillars. Which I'm happy with. If I only lost that, then I'm happy. I'm going to build those dormers because I want to. I think it's like the adrenaline rush, and now I want to build again because it's not healthy. Like Planet Zoo sometimes is like a roller coaster. I think you went through 3 heart attacks when it happened. I think I went into paralysis or something like that. Because for a second my brain was like, what's happening? What are you doing? No, 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 no. You are not allowed to do that. No. Alright, small dormers. I think I'm better off using these. Excuse me. Maybe too small. These ones will work. At least if they're not shiny. They're not. Alright. Sometimes you just have windows that are just shiny. Like, I think you guys quickly realized that, like, for a second my brain was just like, this is not happening. No. And then when I came to terms with it, I think I just went through all of the stages of grief. I think that's what happened. Because again, Planet Zoo almost never crashes for me. I'm very lucky when it comes to that, because for some people it does crash constantly. But for me it doesn't. So whenever it does, I am never prepared for it. I don't like save every 10 minutes or something. Like the stream has been going on for 1.5 hours right now. I didn't save at all during that. So whenever it does happen, I am just like, no, no you don't, no you don't, no you don't. I'm just like not accepting it at all. I think that's a warning from the game. Screw the game. I'm now high on adrenaline. I didn't pronounce that correctly at all. But by this point, I don't care. This is what you would call a manic Poisonblade. But yeah, after I finish these dorms, I am going to stop the stream. Tomorrow there won't be a stream, because it's the last part of Suyana and it's the red pandas. But also I usually have one thing going on every day, almost every day. So if there's a stream, then there's no video. If there's a video, then there's no stream. I think I saw you were going to finish building and said, that won't do, let's motivate him with a controlled shock. Now I just think of Five Nights at Freddy's. You know, with the animatronics that required a controlled shock, but then they just got angry. Am I Freddy Fazbear now? Oh no, who was it? I think it was the Foxy one. The intention was to stop me. Didn't work. Now I'm angry. Like, I would actually understand it better if it was Keanu Bashar. If Keanu Bashar crashes, that's like, that's somewhat more acceptable because that's a huge project. Valhalla isn't though. Well, Valhalla is, but it's also not as piece heavy, so not as much of a chance to actually crash. Funtime Foxy? Yes. And you had the ballerina. Ballora, I think. I still... Maybe if we reach like 5k subscribers. I hate putting like subscriber milestones, but just, you know, because that's a special time. I might then like try and play Five Nights at Freddy's. Granted, I'm the biggest scaredy cat or something. I don't do well with jump scares. And I know it's an old game, but I want to see how I do. These don't really line up. Like, just imagine me playing Five Nights at Freddy's. That would probably not go well. Like, I would be underneath my desk, sobbing. So now that I know that that works, I need to push this one a little further. This one. I think that was too much though. I think it needs to only be pushed further, like 3 sticks. I don't want it to align with the windows that are downstairs though. Though I do want to align this one. So I'm just going to push it out a bit more. And make it slightly higher. Because I can. I might finish up that roof as well. Am I pushing my luck? Yes. I'm definitely pushing my luck, but I want to now. Again, I am angry. Now just think of like that, what is it? There's like a meme with an angry cat, but then he's adorable. I'm not saying that I'm adorable. I'm just thinking of it. What is it? Like, don't talk to me, I'm angry. No, not grumpy cat. It's still a grumpy looking cat, but it's like a kitten. So you can't really take it serious when it looks angry. Like, you can't take a kitten serious. Or at least I can't. Because kittens are sunshines and rainbows. I'm just going to quickly look it up. I'm angry. I found it. I'm angry. There it is. Now you guys know the kitten. It's small. But it's angry. And it's adorable. It's so tiny. But he's angry. Oh. Oops. It's so... It's too fluffy. So... to world access. There's also like a little panda version of it. But it's generally just like really cute animal and it's angry. And that's literally just what's going through my head right now. I'm supposed to be an adult and not be completely entertained by those things, but I am, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, because it's adorable. So, I mean, we got like a pretty... going to stop the music, which means that the stream is about to end, but we did pretty much a lot. Like, this entire side is done. I need to work on the back sides. There needs to be a couple of chimneys. There needs to be the actual restaurant area that's outside. But I think we did pretty well for one stream. Don't forget to save again. Yes. And my ear itches. So, the backup. It looks really good. You build so fast and still so detailed. Yeah, that's the scroll zone. Like, I can build really fast, but not for a long period of time. Like, I am basically on a high for 2 hours, and then I need to sit back for 3. So a build usually comes together pretty fast for me. It's just that whenever I'm not in that scroll zone, I need to really sit back, because otherwise I will destroy my own build. Also, I didn't save it, so I don't actually have the reference for you guys, but it doesn't look anywhere like it, so yeah, I wanted to make one thing and we ended up with something completely different. The only thing is the L shape that remains. The rest of this building is now completely different. Now let's take a look again. I'm going to remove these. Why did I actually do that? Because I saved beforehand, so I'm not going to save again. I still have that cat on screen, don't I? It's a perfect way to sum up the stream. But I mean, you're spending your entire day carving out ice here, and then you go here to get like a nice stew or just a very hearty dinner, and then you go back home down there. Or it's like a lunch thing. It looks like it could be an inn for the workers. I'm angry too. And the temporary ban. Yeah, with a mess up, which was supposed to be what this was going to be. But then it also slowly transformed into a more official looking building. But yeah. Thursday we are going to continue this build, and then we will actually do like all of the terrain work probably. Because most of the actual building is finished, it's just like fitting it in, making it an actual thing for the workers. But yeah, I think like this part is probably what's for the workers. Like this is the actual office, but here's like the kitchens and everything. So the less detailed or the less fancy part of the building is of course for the workers. The officials and like the people doing the paperwork are all in this part of the build. So that's why that part looks so fancy. It does need some shutters though, because it's actually, I always say I'm going to do this, but I usually forget. Let's go to Valhalla in the snow. I think I heard a penguin's death shriek. Yeah, the supervisors. Again, the polar bears aren't in here yet. It's mint 3 degrees. It's warmer right now in the Netherlands, which I'm happy for. No ice. I mean, Valhalla in the snow looks a bit like a fairy tale. Kayan still looks deadly though. But Valhalla literally looks like it could be right out of a fairy tale. Harry matured. I'm still somewhat sad that the water doesn't freeze. Like, that would be cool if you turned it into winter and the actual water froze. Because also gameplay wise, that would be a thing in Zeus. That Zeus need to break open the water. Or that they need to have things in motion or things prepared for if the water freezes, that the animals don't escape. Would be fun. Although it would also probably be kind of tedious, but hey, it makes building habitats more interesting if you have to make them like perfect for every season, basically. I don't know where the lion is. Oh, there he is. But I mean, look at this place. I mean, there's a reason why Torstad is the background for my screens. And I'm not in any way shy of saying that. Like, this view is what I see when I start up my PC. And I am proud of it. Also, my statues have come a long way since this. Well, I'm still happy with this one. But I still see a lot of like progress that I've made. The brewery and all of it. Small marketplace. This building I still need to finish. This one I don't think you guys ever saw this building though. Remember your statues in Kian al-Bashar? The camel statue. No, 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 no. I mean, again, it shows progress, shows that I've gotten better at it. It, I think it did really go very fast though. Like I went from a camel statue immediately to what was the next statue that I built? I think the statues in the Hagia Sophia itself were like the next thing. And that's already no, actually Athena was the first one that I did in that style. And then it very quickly progressed. This to me looks kind of fairy tale-esque. There was also the big hands. Yes. Kind of like I still want to bring those back in some way. I was going to say, oh, let's load up Can Shard to look at it. Yeah, that's going to take 20 minutes. I'm not going to put you guys through that. That doesn't exist anymore. Well, it still does. It's still there. Dorstad in the rain does look kind of depressing. It's somewhat accurate that the roof is not completely watertight. Just think of doing your shopping in Dorstad. Like needing to go through this rain to get some like fruits and vegetables and such. Still really need to finish this area. But also when it comes to buildings, yeah, the abandoned bit is because there's not really people wandering around. Or at least that's, to me, feels abandoned because it's a city. Even in the rain there are people going to be about. But even building wise, I think I've progressed very fast because this was the extent of buildings I did like half a year ago, and now you have this. Granted, it's also like this is 1,000 pieces. I don't know why it's two separate buildings, and this is 13,000. Piece count is also going up way high. Is this one completely watertight? It is. And this is the inside of the buildings, which is why it's always easier to not have an interior for a building. Because you don't have to worry about that. And this was the earliest build. Custom roofs, huge piece counts. Well, it's actually not the roofs, it's all the detailing around it. Well, the roofs are still a huge thing. I mean, that roof is a huge piece count. But the roof that we built today and like this one, that's not that much. That's like 100, maybe 50 pieces. I think it's the custom walls actually that are bigger in the piece count. But anyway, I'm going to turn the weather back to what it was. And then I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for surviving the heart attack that was the complete breakdown of Planet Zoo. And I will see you back Thursday. Tomorrow's another video for Shuyana. It's the final one with the red pandas. And I wish you all a wonderful day. Bye bye. That cat is still on the screen.